Guess what, guys? I'm back with more Elvish. Except, to be honest, I don't know Elvish, really. So I decided that I'm gonna actually look it up. But one thing I learned about Elvish is that underneath Elvish, there's like a gazillion different types. But I knew that before. There's like a gazillion types. There's Quenya, there's Sindarin, there's some other things that I can't pronounce. So I'm not going to say them, but I know you guys know them. We're going to learn Quenya. And guess what I have to enjoy our learning experience with? A good bajillion of Sharpies. I wanted to do just a teensy bit of research before I actually started filming so that I knew something while I was trying to video cam this. Basically, one thing I learned is about this thing called tengwar. Now, I made this little analogy on this really nifty piece of paper with all these colors to help it out. See, this is my analogy. Tengwar, wait, sorry, this is tengwar. No, this is, sorry. It's like all like not mirror image right now, so it's really difficult on my like monitor. Okay, tengwar, yeah, I got it right. Tengwar is to Quenya as Latin is to English. Huh? Isn't that a cool analogy? See, tengwar, I did it again, didn't I? Look at it. Okay, tengwar is to Quenya and Sindarin. They use the same, this is basically meaning like the alphabet. Sindarin uses the same letters as Latin is to English. You know what the English letters look like, but it's not just English. We've also got Spanish that uses the same letters, and we got French that uses the same letters. And you know what? I know there's probably a gazillion more that use the same letters, like Portuguese, I guess. Now, I started looking up about tengwar because it's just something you gotta know. I mean, it's like to form a word, you gotta think about the letters. So I figured, you know, the best thing to do is to learn about tengwar first. So, and this is what I found. It says, just as with any alphabetic writing system, every specific language written in tengwar requires a specific orthography, I don't really know how you pronounce that word, depending on the phonology of that language. These tengwar orthographies are usually called modes. Tengwar letters. The most notable characteristic of the tengwar script is that the shapes of the letters correspond to distinctive features of sounds they represent. I did not know that. Most letters are constructed by a combination of two basic shapes, a vertical stem, either short or long, and either one or two rounded bows, which may, I'm guessing it's bows, which may or may not be underlined and may be on the left or right of the stem. You know, I did notice that, because when I did my first video, that's all I drew. Just a whole bunch of lines and like M's and M's backwards and lines and squiggles. It was pretty cool. There's a whole bunch more about things like about how you actually voice certain things based on the letter, and it shows you. It's really interesting. Each letter is so intricate, like just if it faces one way, it means that you have to voice it, or one way means you have to nasal it. It's actually really cool if you look. Let's talk about tra-la-la, tra-la-la. Ooh, there's a tengwar mode for English, a tengwar mode for Dutch, and Czech, and Bulgarian, and Arabic, and Finnish, and French, and German, and Hebrew, and Masoretic Hebrew, and Klingon. Klingon? Oh my gosh. How cool would it be to speak Klingon? I bet that's kind of like a whole bunch of like battle between, you know, things like all the Trekkies versus all the Lord of the Rings crew, you know. They're both kind of like up there on the nerd scale. No offense, I'm not saying any, you know, there's nothing wrong with being a nerd. Heck, I'm making this video, I kind of qualify myself as pretty dorky. And I got my glasses, I feel nerdy. And yeah, so I wonder what it's like if you were to go to like a convention and like have a whole bunch of like Klingon people and then a whole bunch of Elvish variants, language people, and then put them in a room together and then they battle like two people that battle crazy. I wonder, but maybe you guys like each other. I don't know. Maybe they're just, I think it'd be funny. It'd be an interesting movie or something. An interesting YouTube video. Yeah. In my future, I'm gonna make a Klingon versus Elvish video. But I gotta learn both languages, I guess, and that's gonna be a long time, considering how bad I am at Elvish now. Yeah. You know, I also found this dictionary for, you know, Quenya to English to Quenya and all that. And I wrote out the link. It's right here. But you guys, knowing my computer, by the time I upload it, you guys aren't even going to be able to read this. So I'm going to just post it into that little side corner description box. And so you guys can go there and have fun with and continue to grow in your Quenya-ness. I'm going to click this link that says a simpler tengwar mode for English. I don't know what I'm getting into, but it says how to write English in Elvish letters. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No, no, no. You don't want to write English in Elvish letters. That's totally weird. A lot of people told me so in my comments. Oh, well, let's just keep reading. Elvish letters, aka tengwar, like our Roman letters. Oh, wait, gotta change this. Roman. Alright. Latin, Roman. In Rome they speak Latin, okay? So, whatever. Okay. Like our Roman letters can be used to write most languages. And in the real world, some people sometimes use Elvish letters to write real world languages like English. But there's no standard way to do that. Tolkien himself wrote several English sentences in Elvish letters, and each time he did it differently. Wait, hold up, let's back up. Tolkien himself wrote several English sentences in Elvish letters. You know what? There you go. There you have it. It's okay to write English in Elvish letters. Yeah, okay. But you know what? Each time they did it differently. My suggestion, from what I've read about your comments and everything, you don't just do an actual alphabet like A equals this symbol and B equals this symbol and D equals this symbol. No, it doesn't really work. I don't think it really works that way. It goes more phonetically, like the D makes this symbol, the G makes this symbol. I don't even know if those are real letters. 2 ways to write English with Elvish letters. I'm reading the website again. The first way is using Elvish letters to represent English sounds. Oh, who called it? Who called it? That would mean that an English sound like I would always be written with the same Elvish symbol, regardless of the original English spelling. The second idea is not trying to represent the English sounds but English letters. This may not be what the elves did, but it's convenient because you may learn to do that in 10 minutes and you'll always be able to read back what you wrote. Just follow the lessons below and change each English letter to an Elvish letter. You'll get something that looks nice and can be read back. What? This guy wrote, what? Print out a cheat sheet. Is this the same guy that did the same thing? What? I have a feeling that this guy's the same thing. How to write Robert? Robert? That Buck guy would say, what the buck? Yeah, have you ever seen his videos? He's kind of crazy. He just talks like non-stop. You know, I'm getting things that are contradictory now. You know what? People tell me one thing and then another. And you know what? This is basically the same thing I did before. I'm going to need your guys' help a little much. You know, I'm going to send you the link and you guys can read it. And then you guys can, you know, comment back saying what the deal is with this with these websites saying one thing when you guys say another. I hope you guys don't pick on me this time because that's not really nice. I don't intend to make Tolkien feel bad about his life or feel raped. Somebody said that Tolkien should feel raped about what I've done. You know, honestly, if I wrote a language and somebody like started learning it years after I was even dead, I'd be honored that they at least made an attempt to learn my language. So that's cool. This is my Where's Waldo book. Want to read it? Okay, so yeah, that's all I've got to say right now. We'll solve this Elvish crisis one day. And peace out, Girl Scout.